Yeah, I'm really excited to get. There's a pigeon living in my house, apparently. Hey, you can't live rent-free. Andiamo. You know, it's really hard to sum up this experience so far. I think a lot of people back home feel like I'm on a vacation. Like, oh, it's so romantic. Oh, the pasta, the wine. Oh, but like the reality is I'm not on vacation and I'm by myself. It feels like not a vacation. It feels like I'm moving somewhere. Even though it is temporary, it's hard. There is beauty. I'm in a beautiful place with beautiful people, which I'll tell you about that. But I think it's important for people to understand, like, it took me 35 minutes to figure out how to close a 4-layer window. The windows here have 4 layers. They have a screen, they have a shutter, they have a thing of glass, and then they have an outer layer. Like, it takes so long to learn different things that are just intuitive back home. Locking doors, taking a shower in a drought and figuring out how to conserve the limited amount of water that you have that's hot. Washing dishes in the sink with a small amount of water and boiling it. I could go on. Not having a dryer and having to take every single thing out, and instead of throwing it in a clump in the dryer, taking each piece out, shaking it out, sticking it on the wire rack outside. None of it is bad, but none of it's real easy. I'm not in an Airbnb. I'm not in a hotel. Not everything is done for me. When I moved in, the house needed to be cleaned. There was no food in the fridge that is mine. For someone who struggles with executive functioning and not having that intuition to always know where to go next, that's real hard for me. And so I don't have somebody to ask. I don't have my husband to ask, or, somebody who is close by who can fix the TV. I've been here a week. I still don't know how to fix the TV or figure out how to use the TV and connect it to my YouTube stuff. It's not a hill to die on. It's just annoying. So yeah, but those are some of the challenges I've experienced so far. I want to share with you some of the things I'm learning about Italian culture. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, wouldn't you know everything you need to know because you're Italian American? The answer is definitely not. And the reason why is because Italian culture has evolved differently than Italian American culture. Keep in mind that when people immigrated from Italy to the US, they created their own subculture. So some of the things work in the culture here and other things do not work. For example, I wanted to find a few things for my little Sicilian townhouse, and I don't want to spend a lot of money. So I was asking some of the neighbors, where can I find a secondhand shop or a Goodwill type store or a charity shop? And I was going through every single type of word in Google Translate to try to communicate that I wanted secondhand stuff. Well, after they finally understood what I was saying, they were horrified that I would want to buy secondhand stuff. And the reason that they gave me in Google Translate is, if you buy a jacket that is secondhand, you don't know if somebody died in it. Another thing I learned is that it is 100% completely inappropriate for me to buy a cappuccino at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh yes, nobody drinks cappuccino here in the middle of the afternoon. I was told very clearly that this is a breakfast drink. That is when you drink it. And I noticed that here in Sicily, a lot of things are, don't mess with the status quo. Don't mess with what we've been doing. You have to work your way into it. I think I can relate to that because I've been living among the Amish and the Mennonites for so long. I have to be able to adapt to that culture. And I have to do the same thing here because that is what people are expecting. People are really friendly here. Not only the Italians here in this town, but also the expat community. I have been fully embraced by people from England, all over the United States, from Canada. People are coming here for many reasons. Some are getting their dual citizenship like myself. Others, like the British people, bought property before Brexit happened so that they could keep their EU status. And so many, many British people are here. They use their homes as holiday homes, and their flights are like super cheap. You can fly from London to Sicily for about $50, and that's amazing to think about. I think that people come together here in a way that's different than the US. On the first day I was here, guys, a lady pulled up to my house, got out, and said to me in Italian what her name was, and then told me that she knows the cousins that I have here in Caccamo, and that she wants me to meet them. And I was like, how does she even know who I am? I have no idea. She just came out and said, I know you're here from America, I know your family last name, and you have cousins here. I said, great, I want to get together with them. Instead, she connected me to the genealogist of the town, who I am meeting with on Tuesday. So I'm going to learn all about my family lineage from him. Interestingly enough, I have an ancestor way back that has the same last name as him. So relatives, who knows? There's only about 8,000 people in the town. My last name and my other names connected to my maternal line are very popular here. So I'm excited to see what I can discover here about my family tree, make sure that that gets preserved for generations to come. You know what's interesting, guys? Being married to a Mennonite and living in his ancestral town and area for over 20 years, I got very used to people asking me how I was related and who was related to who in his family. I could never play that game. It's actually called the Mennonite game. I couldn't play the game because I'm not from his ancestral background. People are hearing that I am here, that I do not know. I had a guy come up to me today and go, Anselmo, San Fratello. Those are my surnames. And I was like, yes, my maiden name is Anselmo. He goes, I know people in your family. I'm like, I want to meet them. I want them to have wine on my patio. How can you help me? So now I have all these random people in my phone, and I'm hoping that somehow there will be a connection to ancestors, cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins, who knows who's here. If my ancestor had not immigrated to the United States, I could very well be living in this town, in this very house. And that is crazy to me that one person 100 years ago made a decision to leave here, to leave this beautiful town and go to Manhattan, to Little Italy, to live, to find a better life. Crazy. So I've already met two ladies who are here who are pursuing Jure Sanguinis, which means Italian by blood. And that's a type of dual citizenship that I am currently pursuing here in Italy. So yesterday I met Giulia, which that's Julie in English, but her name here is Giulia. Super nice lady from Oregon. We had a great time going out to eat. I got shrimp that were like this big. Anyway, we had a great time. So we were walking out of the restaurant and walking down the steps. There's lots of steps here. And all of a sudden a lady shouts down to me, Christina, Christina. She's talking to me because they call me Christina here. And I look up and here it's the lady who stopped me several days ago to tell me that she knows relatives that live in this town and she's going to connect me with them. Can you believe that? And we had a lovely conversation. She's on the second floor. We're on the literally in the street. And she was, oh, I'm so happy you're here. And then her husband came out, said, welcome, Christina, welcome your family here. And I was just so blown away by that. Like, where else can you go in the world where that's going to happen? I mean, I think this is it for me. Well, it's Sunday, guys. And today I went to Mass at the San Benedetto Church, which is connected to the Annunciation Church. And I got a chance to meet the priest after the Mass was over. And I told him, I introduced myself, told him why I was here. And he brought me in the back of the sacristy where all these ancient books were, like old books. And he's like, this is where we house all of the historical evidence of the Caccamo family. And you're going to have to talk to such and such a guy to help you to look through these ancient books. But you are welcome. You are welcome here. You're a part of the family because your family is originally from here. And you are welcome back as a family member, a resident citizen. And I was just so overwhelmed by that, guys. Like, it was really moving to have this priest invite me back home. I just can't wait to experience more. People here in Sicily are more formal when greeting people by passing them on the street. In the States, where I'm from, if you happen to catch an eye with somebody, I might say, "Hey, how's it going?" Or "What's up?" Or "Hey," no matter what their age is. Here, no matter if it's a younger person or an older person, almost everybody would say buonanotte, buonasera, buongiorno, which is the formal way of saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Everything is a little bit more formal, including how people dress. Nobody is wearing pajamas out at the store. I mean, people are dressing to go to the store. They're thinking through their jewelry, their handbag, their shoes, the makeup. It's incredible. Everyone looks like $1 million, even if they have no money. And I think that's really interesting. One Italian woman was laughing. She had seen a YouTube channel and the lady was wearing her pajama bottoms. And she asked me if she was crazy mentally. And I was like, no, that's just how some people in the States go to Walmart. So I met a lady here in Caccamo who is an American expat and bought a small farm outside of the main town, which I'm in. She and I went shopping to a place called the Happy Shop. And the Happy Shop is owned by a Chinese family. They speak no English. And it was glorious to me to have a full conversation with this Chinese guy in the most beautiful Italian I've ever heard. He doesn't speak English, and that just kind of threw me a little bit. I bought some shower curtains, good times, and some other stuff in case you care. And she was trying to drop me off here at my little Sicilian townhouse. She literally got stuck in the road because her car, which is the equivalent of like the size of a Toyota Corolla, she got to a point in the road where she could not move on either side. It was kind of like she's on a hill and she's like, I can't go any further. And so we were kind of freaking out a little bit because we're like, now what do we do? You know, she's burning rubber, trying to get back up the hill. This guy comes zooming the other way on a motorcycle in the middle of like, it's nighttime by now. He says to her, do you need help? And she was like, yeah, I do. He turned off the motorcycle, took his helmet off, got in the driver's seat and proceeded to, with little to no effort at all, pull up, get her out of that narrow area and go all the way back to the main road, barely thinking. And it was just so cool that this guy was willing to just stop whatever he was doing to help a foreigner to just get her out of the road. But it was also really cool to be with another person who isn't from here, kind of work through some of the feelings of almost helplessness in that kind of experience where you're like, I don't know what else to do. You know, fortunately we got out of that, no scratches, no nothing on her car. But at the same time, I just kind of left that experience feeling like, wow, you know, people help each other out here. And I thought that was really special.